Hey, what's going on, family? It's Tim here with just a quick public service announcement. Your ability to live a life with purpose and walk in unspeakable abundance is directly tied to, it is actually determined by your ability to ask better questions. Let me explain. See, about a month ago, I had somebody that reached out to me on Instagram. And when I checked out his profile, I was like, okay, he doing a lot of similar things like I'm doing. So this is somebody that I was, eager to start a relationship with, right? Or at least to start to try to build a connection at first. Over time, he decided to go ahead and send me a DM, right? So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And the conversation started cordially. Everything was normal. And we exchanged greetings like, what's up, bro? Whoop, whoop, whoop. But then it happened. He just had to hit me with the, oh, hey. Have you ever heard of the XYZ program? It's the best thing smoking. It's your long lost brother. And if you got a second, I'd love to talk to you about it. Man, and I'm like, bruh. It really frustrated me because I thought that I was really building, like a real relationship with somebody. And he basically just started spamming me. And so out of respect, because I understand the hustle. I mean, direct messaging to somebody on social media is a valid form of marketing. So I had to do the only thing that was logical. I left him on red. I left him on red. So a couple of days went by. He just decided to message me again. Only this time he completely crossed the line. He said something along the lines of, oh, it ain't good to ignore a blessing that God got coming to you, a potential blessing from God. And I'm like, I got mad. I honestly got mad because I'm like, that's the same reason that Jesus had to overturn the tables in Jerusalem in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're turning the spiritual act of wealth generation and business into a lie. You're telling me that God gonna bless me if I buy your thing or if I opt into your sales funnel. And that dog don't hunt, chief. Me being me, I had to do it. I just had to rebuke him. The marketer in me, I also had to coach him because, in sales, it's not about what you want to sell me. It's about what I want to buy. So where this gentleman messed up is where so many people mess up, not only in the realm of sales, but in the realm of communication and building true relationships. We fail to understand the power of discovering the desires of other people so well that they sell themselves on what we have to offer. What old boy failed to do was he failed to discover if I needed his product, if I liked his product, if I cared about his product, and even if I knew somebody else who might benefit from what he had to offer. I wasn't even qualified to be his customer, and he's already trying to guilt me into buying something. He's trying to guilt me into conversion. Not only that, he tried to exploit the name of my father to do it. I'm like, bro, number one, that's a sales no-no. But number two, actually, bro, if you watching this, God bless you, and I love to coach you. So with that being said, today I want to talk about just that. The art and power of asking the right questions. So without any further ado, let's get regal. One of the best thought leaders today is this man named Simon Sinek. And if you haven't heard about him, I highly suggest you just take some time right now and Google him right quick. His core message, he calls it the golden circle, but it'll honestly change your life if you listen to it. It's this book called Start With Why. And that's where he talks about this golden circle. He even has a TED talk about it, and it got like over 11 million views. And see, Simon mentions that people don't buy what we do. They buy why we do it. Most of our communication is falling short and falling on deaf ears because everything that we're doing is in the wrong order. See, we typically start off with what, then we go to how, and then finally we get to why. And see, the human brain is designed in such a way that we are uniquely equipped to detect and be attracted to beauty. We like things that are in order. That's why, you're attracted to your spouse's face because it's in order. When we deliver information that's out of order, it's essentially like listening to a beautiful symphony and then it's got this weird key in the middle, you know what I'm saying? Let's say we sell sneakers. We could say we make beautifully designed sneakers that make you run faster, that make you jump higher. Our process is fast, our process is simple, and we do it with you in mind. We do this because we want to change the world. You want to buy one? Meh. Probably, maybe not, but check this out. Here's the same message, but this time I'm gonna put it in the right order. And not only that, I'm gonna focus on answering the questions that the market is already asking themselves about the brand. So check this out. At our core, we believe in empowering people to reach their peak performance and embrace an active lifestyle. Through relentless innovation and our commitment to quality, we design sneakers that blend cutting-edge technology with superior craftsmanship. Experience our latest collection crafted for optimal comfort, durability, and performance on and off the court. Step into a world where every stride is a step towards your personal best. Totally different, right? So this tells us questions are incredibly powerful, especially when understanding why we do something, right? So when we ask the right questions, We can get to the heart of what people believe. We can get to the heart of what we believe. We can get to the heart of the values that truly increase our chances of connecting with people on a deeper level. What's interesting is that the word question is derived from a Latin root, which means to seek. And if we were to go further into what it means to seek, it essentially comes down to, in terms of demand or searching, especially to worship or to plot. And see, this suggests that when someone is seeking something by asking questions, there's this profound transaction that's going on. You see, seeking is not merely about finding the answer. It's an inward journey to discover the truth and consistency. I talk about external consistency and internal consistency all the time. You see, the act of questioning becomes this powerful catalyst for not only personal growth, but it helps us shape our worldview and influence our decision making. And in a lot of ways, the question itself is the answer. Questions have the power to evoke introspection, and it allows us to shape the narrative within our own minds. So we not only uncover the answers, but we also construct this personal story that aligns with our values and aligns with our beliefs. Now let's look at this thing biblically. Now we all know that Jesus spoke in parables. He taught in parables. And this touches back on how we can tell ourselves stories based on our own unique and subjective experiences. When Jesus asked questions, it instantly convicts us to search our heart for consistency. For example, look at John chapter 3 with Nicodemus. Come on now, Nicodemus. Nicodemus asked a question about what it meant to be born again. And he was the expert, right? But the cool part was that when Nicodemus asked this question, Jesus answered his question with the question. And that question further proves that questions is oftentimes the answer. It showed him how little he understood as the teacher of the faith. And honestly, that highlights one of my favorite verses from the Bible. 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2, where it says, if a man think he knows a thing, he knows nothing as he ought to know. Let that one sink in. Man, that's good. Not only that, looking back at the Synoptic Gospel, there was something else that I discovered when I was studying the book of Matthew, and it's super revelatory. Matthew chapter 13 highlights the reality that through strategic questioning and parables, we can discover that silence is mercy. Watch this. If Jesus had spoken plainly, knowing full well that the people were going to reject what he had to say to them, their understanding of it would increase their guilt. Now, let's not confuse this. Not understanding something does not excuse you at all. It doesn't alleviate an unbeliever for their guilt for rejecting Christ. Everybody has a conscience, but the reason that Jesus spoke in parables is that it hid the meaning of the depth of God to the unbelievers. And this was this powerful act of mercy towards them in reducing their comprehension of his word. Remember, it's not given to everybody to understand the mysteries of the kingdom. So questions, just like those parables, allow us to communicate to the inner being of a person. And the question that they ask themselves, that right there, that place is where true repentance happens. So not only that, look at Exodus. Come on, Exodus. Chapter 18, when we discover how an abundance can come through educating the right people, how an abundance can come through educating noble men. When Jethro, he was a high priest, we talked about him a couple times, he showed Moses that being the man of God was a burden if you tried to do it alone. And it was a picture of the best way to achieve an abundance. One of the best things that I can tell you guys today is that we all need to allow our minds to be an eternal question mark. Not in a manner of pessimistic criticism, but someone who wishes to be accurate in their thinking. And actually, creative question cause new patterns of thinking. You know what? Watch this. Check this out. We've all heard that it's not chess, it's checkers, right? But let me rearrange some furniture in your head right quick on the Regal Roadmap. I submit to you guys that in life, it's not chess or checkers. It's actually Go. Go, known as Wei Chi in the Chinese, is also a strategic board game, but this one originated in China over 2,500 years ago. And it's played on this 19 by 19 board, and the game involves placing white stones and black stones with the objective of surrounding territory, right? Go is renowned for its simplicity of its rules, yet it's so profound when it comes to its complexity, and it surpasses both chess and checkers in strategic depth. The near infinite board possibilities make it a rich landscape for intuitive and deep think, and that's where true repentance happens. Elevating it to a game that captivates its player with its elegance and those strategic challenges that you have to face. It surpasses chess in complexity because, you know, the greatest number of possible moves in chess is around like 35, right? Check this out. In Go, is more like 200. And unlike chess, where capturing the pieces reduces the complexity over time, In Go, the stones got to remain on the board and create this evolving strategic environment throughout the entire game. Let that one sink in. It ain't chess nor checkers, just go. But let's venture back to the questions from the business perspective one last time so I can help my friend out, if he ever watching it, right? I hope he does. All business relationships begin with questions. This is why it's important for us to ask the right questions. When we aim to influence people, the best way to do it is to learn how to speak their language. And when they tell themselves their own story for their reasons, through our questions, we can connect with them more and significantly enrich the relationship and the connection itself. This is why we have to educate people when we sell them, not merely just desperately try to say, please buy my thing, please buy my thing. We try to persuade them to buy our thing and we don't know the first thing about them. The word education means to develop within. It comes from educo, right? And see, when we ask questions, we gain deeper understanding that starts with not only subjectivity, but again, it reveals internal and external consistency within the customer, within the person who we're communicating with through artful questions. When we ask the right questions, we can control a person's attention better. And see, controlled attention leads to mastery in any endeavor. We can master the exchange of thought between us. This is why master salesmen use the question method when they're selling, and that's one of their greatest tools, honestly. The question method forces the prospect to think. Not only that, it gives the salesman the ability to choose the line of thought to be engaged in by the cleverness of his or her questions. Crazy dope, right? The real goal in sales is to make the prospect the star of the show. The prospect is the focus. And the moment a salesman or a leader, any one of us, a person who's trying to be regal, makes themselves the focus of reality instead of making reality the focus of reality, that instantly and immediately creates a recipe for mediocrity or worse. So many people fail at business and they fail at leadership because they fail to show and demonstrate that they care. And honestly, I'm gonna poke at him one last time. This ties back to my dog from Instagram. When he failed to discover my values, when he failed to discover my needs, when he failed to discover my desire, where I was in life, he showed me that he could care less about anything that I had. He cared less about me, and he lost the opportunity to lead me where he wanted me to go. Without the ability to communicate effectively, you can forget about ever becoming a leader. In fact, I want to give him this one last nugget. Honestly, this is good for everybody, okay? But to my dog, come in real close actually. There are 4 main reasons that people reject ideas or offers. Number 1, it's not their idea. Number 2, the idea doesn't make sense. Number 3, it doesn't meet their needs. And number 4, you're asking too much too soon. In sales psychology, this is called the golden bridge. And I wonder which one or which 2 or which 3 old boy had when he was trying to convince me that it was God's plan for me to connect with his product. All my prayers will be answered. But honestly, with that being said, guys, that's all I have today. I pray that this has been a blessing to someone. And as always, I want to know what your thoughts are. What are some of the best questions that you guys ask? Is there anything that I may have missed or something I didn't think about in this particular video? Make sure you leave all that down in the comments. I'd love to start this conversation with you guys. And I do want to mention, oh my goodness, I almost forgot this. I do want to mention that there's one other book by John C. Maxwell that's super, super dope on this topic. It's called Leaders Ask Great Questions. And see, this one right here, take it to a whole nother level. And I could have made an entire video about that book alone, just that one. Be sure to like, follow, comment, and subscribe for more. And I might even do a video about that one in the future. But you're free to do it whenever you're ready, okay? So if you found this video helpful, make sure you check out this next video over here. I guarantee it'll help you out. I'm sure it'll change your life and take you to new heights. Until next time, stay regal, family. Stay loud.